Welcome to another episode of Sync and Desist,
Welcome, welcome.
episode 170 something. I
We,
looked before we started recording. I
I
have
know. I
no
saw.
clue.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got some news actually that I wanted
Brad, how's your week?
to. I got a new whip, got a new ride, so I've just been enjoying the hell out of that. um, it's been long overdue. Something you, Rob, you've just been like poking me, like, I know.
Yeah.
I've been driving something that's been older for a while, so
And something older for a while before that. Something older.
yeah, right. It's never been within the 10-year range. It's always been like 20 years. So it was about time, but
What year is what you just got?
2014. Yeah.
Not
So
bad.
yeah. So it's that and new phone and all of that, just kind of getting going with some stuff. So it's actually like it feels cool to like get something new for the first time. It's just like that's that feeling that I've been looking forward to. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I've been so used to just kind of I've been so used to older things that like the new things. Like I used to be like, nah, I don't need it right now. But I realized now that I have it, it's like, yeah, I've been wanting this the whole time. I just didn't realize. But sometimes it's just kind of it's not in maybe the initial timing. It's just like when you're ready, or like when you can make it work. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of two minds where sometimes I think you have to be prepared for something. Like you have to wait a little bit, like until like you're ready for something. But at the same time, I think sometimes you just have to start before you think you're ready.
Yeah.
Because like if you wait until you are ready, then you'll never be ready.
Yeah, everybody has different definitions of what ready is too. Because like, in my situation, it's always been like, oh, money is the hurdle, right? Money's that thing I got to get over. But the thing is, like, if you put that pressure on yourself, like, oh, I gotta pay that car note by this time, you're gonna hustle, Whereas if you don't have that time frame, you're just gonna keep dragging along,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I know how that feels too, because like you got a new whip. How long ago was it now?
Last July.
Yeah. So you've been enjoying that. So
It's my baby.
but also I got the hookup from you as well, because your family and all that. It's a nice reference there in order to get that whip. So I didn't want to go with people that I didn't know, basically. So. So someone I know can refer me or help me get something, like I'm going to go with that. So
Yeah.
I'm all about family, keep it in the fam. So
it's all in the family. My brother helped my brother.
Yeah,
car,
brother
basically.
from another mother, right?
Yeah, and like because my brother's a used car salesman. For those of you at home, and I was telling you before we started recording, like my brother was excited. Like he called me. He even came over and was like, "We got him right. We got him right."
Yeah, you told me earlier. You're like, I don't know who was more excited. Was it him or you? And it's like we were kind of feeding off of each other too. Because like I love your brother so much. Because like he's like, let's post up. So he's making like a video. It's like, how you like this new car? And I'm just like, I love it. So he was hyping it up for me, and then I was hyping like him up back too. It's like, man, thank you so much. So yeah, it's cool, I love people that really are happy for you genuinely. If you have people like that, like hold on to them, because there's a lot of people that they see your successes as a threat to theirs. So don't keep those people around. Keep the people around that actually want to see you succeed, you know?
Yeah.
Or can aid you in your success too. So,
yeah. Because, like, I know, like, a lot of people feel this way, but, like, for me, like, to see a friend, like a close friend, succeed, I feel just as excited as if it were me.
Right.
You know, it's like sometimes you just want to see your people succeed. Like for me, like I like tweet all the time. Like I just want to see my people eat because like that's just how how I feel. Like I know I'm gonna be good, but I want to see my people good too. You know, because like I know like how much work I put in, and I know my hard work is going to pay off one way or another.
Yeah.
But I know how hard my people work, and I want to see them succeed. Like sometimes more than I want to see myself succeed, you know? But yeah, you got to have those people around.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, and talking about work, you know, you've been working your ass off. I know a lot lately too. So, and I was telling you earlier, it's like kudos to that. That I see you striving. Because it's like one of those things where, you know, if you're running a marathon, right, and there's that point where you're like, I don't know if I can do this, like I gotta slow down. But you reach that second win, so to speak, right, where it's like you just decided to push through that feeling of like being too tired or, you know, body being worn out, and you actually end up going. And it's almost like you're on autopilot, like your body's not stopping. So
it's just funny how you say autopilot, because that's something that's been in my head a lot lately, because I told you like I am beyond burned out, but like all I know is go. So like sometimes like even when I'm doing a project, like especially if it's something I'm like not even like attached to, like emotionally, or like there's like no real connection, it's just work. Like I'm like going through the motions isn't the right word. Like I could say like, man, I'm just going through the motions, but like I'm really just an autopilot. It's like I'm not here.
Yeah.
You know? But like even some projects like I'm passionate about, like something that we just did over the weekend, is like this is something I'm super like this is something I'm excited about and have been, you know, and with people that I'm excited about and love, and it's like I'm just so burned out.
Right.
And like I just came from a video gig, and now I'm doing another one, and it's like
sorry we did that.
That was
you.
a 13-hour day, but
that was our idea too. So.
But like I wasn't going through the motions, but
you pulled
I was
up
just
tired. You pulled up tired.
I was exhausted. Like I told Brett, like just now, like before we started recording, I was like, I'm sure you saw, like I was not there, but like with the end result, it's like clearly I was there. I just don't have like that recollection. It's like I'm so in the zone that like it's ingrained in me, you know, like when I'm doing what I'm passionate about, it's so ingrained in me. I can't just go in autopilot, and the end result can be amazing. But one thing I haven't told you is I was super in my head about that project. Like we had all of the elements were against us. Like it was rough. Like then I felt like I told my family, like I felt like a failure. Like I felt like,
oh damn,
fuck, I screwed up. Like this is trash. I already know it. I haven't even looked at all the footage. I know this is trash. Then that was just eating at me for like that whole night when we shot, and then the whole morning. Like even like in my sleep, I was like, my dreams have been crazy. I must be going through it right now. My dreams have been crazy.
I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah, like I was just all of the elements. I won't even go into it. All of the elements were against us.
Yeah.
And like I had no clue like how it was going to turn out. And then once I started, because I did one long form project. I heard that.
Your boy hungry over here.
Yeah. It's usually me that my stomach interrupts the podcast. It is Brad this time. But I had a long form project to do that morning, and then I had another project to finish up before I even started on this project. And
right.
So I was just going all day. So that was back-to-back 13-hour days.
Yeah.
And then I think the next day too. So back-to-back 11 to 13-hour days. And so the whole morning, the morning after, I was like, still felt like a complete failure. And then did the other project. I'm like, all right, let's face the music. Pardon the pun. But and then I started to line everything up. I started to color grade it. Started going through all the footage. I'm like, whew.
This is pretty dope. Yeah.
Everything turned out. And like I was telling my brother, like, it's never happened where like I have to pick a take. And I've never had that many options. And it's not to pat myself on the back because I felt like a failure. I felt like I was just going through, not through the motions, but I was just in autopilot. But like mentally, I was fucked up. Like that threw me off. And so like those wins feel so good because like that project is probably one of my favorite things I've ever done.
It's also exactly what we were asking for too. So keeping that in mind too, like, I don't know maybe what we were all like maybe expecting, I guess, but at the same time, like I had faith. I believe that, it would be exactly, you would be happy in the end result. But also it kind of shows too, it's like sometimes it's not so much like the footage itself, it's like how you edit it too, and piecing it all together. Like, cause do you have just as much fun editing as you do like filming? Is that yeah?
I like to see something come to life. Like even when I was done, I texted you. I was like, "Yo, I have to tweak a couple colors, and I have to add my special sauce to it." And like it was exactly what I envisioned, and it was even more. Like I was telling like my brother, and I let my family see it, and I'm like, this one video has some of my favorite shots I've ever gotten. And it's not just one, because like some photos, like I even showed you like a recent photo that I took. And I was like, that's one of my favorite photos I've ever taken. Like I've very rarely will I be like, all right, that's one of my favorites I've ever done.
Right.
But in this one project, there's multiple, so it's like, I even had to get on Instagram, and I like get on Instagram like twice a day, maybe. And I was like, I outdid myself. And like, I'm only competing with myself. And like the post after that, like a lot of people, like you reacted to it, like a lot of other people reacted to it, because it's just like how I just, and I'm not even going to go into it because like that's a completely other thing. But it's like, it's just those wins. They feel so good. Like that was so rewarding because like I even like with all the doubt, like I had no clue how it was going to turn out. Because when I tell you we were against all of the elements, it was the hottest day. Brad would tell you, I came like in true light skin fashion. I came out of my shirt so fucking fast. It was 90 plus degrees outside. The sun was right on top of us.
Yes.
And like I was telling y'all, like when we wrapped up, I am prone to passing out, overheating and passing out.
Yeah.
I was dehydrated. Like
you were already tired from earlier.
I just did a long video gig right before that. And then to jump into another one. So like I was exhausted. I had a massive headache mentally because I told you something that happened the day before that it threw me off as well. It's just a lot of shit that was just going on. And then to just have complete doubt. And like, I'm just sticking to my instincts. Like, I know filmmaking. I know how to get it done, but I'm just not here you know, to then have self-doubt, just doubt the whole thing, and then to look at all of the footage, so sit down and finally look at all of the footage. I'm like, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
Like all of that. I even tweet because like I'm very transparent on the podcast. Whatever I'm going through, I'm tweeted. Like in like not like specifically, but like a takeaway from that experience. I will tweet my takeaway. And I tweeted all that worrying for nothing, you know, because I was worrying for absolutely nothing. It turned out far, it exceeded all expectations I had, you know. So just like, I guess like my biggest takeaway is like just believe in yourself and trust yourself, because like just commit to your craft. And even when you doubt, when you have doubts, what's going to come out is you raw. And it's going to be, even if you don't feel like you're present for it, you're that creator inside of you, whatever it is that you do is going to show up.
Yeah.
I was not there, and my inner creative showed up, and I was able to sit down and like be blown away. Like I thought I fucked every single thing up, you know, but
damn,
like I showed up even when I wasn't there, you know? So it's like,
yeah,
commit yourself to and trust yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually advice that you have given me in the past too. Kind of goes along the lines of like, never let them see you sweat.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. Like, don't let them see you sweat. I'm
and
scared.
You were sweating up there. I'll tell you that we were all sweating.
It's nice to get a looking sexy Rob.
Yeah. I mean, you were glistening. No, but like, because, you know, we're not only just colleagues, you know, I feel like you've been kind of a mentor to me when it comes to like photography, because you've seen me at me kind of in my self-doubt sort of state too, of like, I don't, you know, what should I charge? What should I, you know, I just had all these questions. I'm just like, you know, I just didn't feel like I'm worth what I'm caught, you know, when I'm charging people, or, you know, because I don't feel like I'm on that level. But you kind of help like get me out of that headspace, you know, because it's like, you're like, no, you've been doing it for a while.
And like, and not I don't mean to interrupt you, but like
good.
To speak to that, Brad, and I hope you don't mind like me being transparent, like
go in.
One thing that stood out to me is, and it's like not even stood out, but like it's just one of those things like so we've said on the podcast before, like we go out and we shoot photos like for promo for like Sync And Desist or whatever. Like we just go out and we just shoot together. And I always tag you and you're like, thanks for tagging me, but you know you don't have to, because like you took the picture and like it may have been on my camera and I may have edited the photo, but you took the picture. You're the photographer, you know, and like one, just being a photographer, a lot of people don't credit the people that actually took the pictures. You know, you took the picture. That was your vision. Like, I've never said, like, I may be like, can you get like a shot like this? And like, you'll do it. But everything else is all your vision. So like, to speak to like what you were saying, like when I said like, no, you've been doing this, is like all those pictures that I tag at Ghost Proof Photography, those are all Brad's vision, you know? Like, yeah, they're your photos. So like, I'm like, when you said like, you know, you don't have to tag me, and I was like, you took the pictures.
Yeah.
You're the photographer, you know? And like, even a lot of people, like I'll share like the photo sets that I'll send to you that we did, and they'd be like, he is getting way better every time.
Appreciate that. Yeah, definitely. Just that like that place of self-doubt, I guess. Like some of that is maybe learned behavior, I guess too. You know, I had the perception of like being humble, is like, nah, you shouldn't like, be too sure of yourself and things like that. And now looking back at that, I don't think that being sure of yourself is a negative thing at all, because how is someone else going to be sure of you if you're not? If you're going to come at your potential client to be like, well, I can give it a try, and all timid and stuff. But it's like, but also I work best when I just dive in head first. Like, I may make mistakes, I may get terrible shots, but there's gold in there. It's like you may take 100 pictures and 80 of them may be absolute trash, but 20 of them, chef kiss. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's kind of like you don't have to downplay yourself for people,
Like humility, just being humble and insecure, they're very close. Like I've like caught myself like almost just being insecure and thinking I'm like being humble. Like you can be confident and not be arrogant. You can be, and you can still be humble. Like confidence is not an arrogant trait. It's like we've been doing this for a long time and we are confident in what we can produce.
Yeah.
But being arrogant and having an ego is when someone, which is a real thing I'm about to say.
I was about to say. You have experience with people within that arena.
When you compliment someone, they say, I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about a real person.
Ow.
Even recently. But I that's just something I don't entertain. It's like, yeah, I don't fuck with you.
Yeah. Well, that's all you got to be about it, too. Just, yeah, I mean, I don't fuck with you. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else needs to be said, But but at least when you see something like that, it's like, well, I know that I don't want to be like that, because like obviously like when it comes to our projects, like I try to credit everybody involved the best that I can. And, I like even just the last few weeks, I've been going back into like my distribution account, with all my music, and like I'm like making sure, everybody's going to get their fair share of royalties and whatnot. I'll give you a heads up on some of that later too. So I just want to make sure like everybody, gets their due credit, because we all made the project happen. So I know there's a lot of artists out there that like to take all the credit, and we ain't about that. But
it's a collaborative effort.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you have to know your roots, embrace your roots, know your family, know who has your back, but who's helping you move forward too,
And who's holding you back.
Yeah,
gotta let them go too. But like even like as far as giving people their credit, like even just with Deadly Secrets, out now on all streaming platforms, listen to it. Like you tagged everyone that was involved, like in the song. Like it's not a feature. Then like even with this album, I wouldn't consider really anything a feature. As far as like it's a project by committee. Like it's everyone is involved. Like there's so many people. I wouldn't really consider it as far as like features. Like it's all hands on deck. Basically, is like what this album is, and like even with Deadly Secrets, like it was just you. Like you always wanted me in the breakdown, but it was really just all you. And you're like, oh, what if we had Heather do backgrounds? It's like in a post on Instagram, you tagged Heather in a picture of this single artwork. And like, I'm in the background in the breakdown. And what do you even consider the background? Or like just like gang vocals, like in the breakdown?
Yeah.
Because like
it's an
a lot of people are
in-between.
like, I hear the shit out of you in there. Like, and so like
it's just a screaming part, I guess.
Like
but
I don't know, like, but I'm in there and you tag the other vocalist as well, and it's like everyone might not hear that.
that's true. That's true. I
But
thought
so
about
like
that.
you gave everyone their credit, like everyone's in there.
Right.
All throughout this album, there are not to go into it. There are like parts if you weren't there, you wouldn't know that was someone else.
Right.
So like, it's like I say, it's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
And like everyone gets their credit, like you said, like you've been going back and like you've even told me before, like I'm giving this person credit in this song and like just going through all the songs in the album, making sure everyone gets their credit. And a lot of people don't do that.
Right. And it felt disingenuous to put like featuring, it's like that seems so separate. Like here, they came in and did their part and then left. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, when
someone actually did that and it was amazing. It was the most amazing thing I've
that
ever
is
seen
true. There was one person on the record that did that. But it's
10 minutes.
But if he were to stay and linger, I would have been like, hey, what would you want to ask something else? It's just kind of like one big band project for sure. For sure. And even with our filming projects too, that's kind of how it is, It's like everybody kind of throws in. And there's also times where I know it's like a dance, it's like, okay, Rob's he's gonna take the reins here, and I don't even got to tell you. You just know.
Rob's not dancing.
You lie. You don't break dance. You don't know.
Actually, I used to.
You used to break dance? What?
When You Got Served came out, I was a big into break dancing for about a week.
Okay, You Got Served is kind of a masterpiece. I'm not gonna lie. People slept on that.
Saw it in theaters.
Nice.
Got it on DVD.
No, but basically to sort of like wrap all of that up, be confident, be sure of yourself.
Yeah.
It's not something you got to be afraid of.
Yeah.
I grew up that way. I grew up afraid to look that way. Be like, I don't want people to perceive me like that. Mm-hmm. Like you see me like after shows, I'll just be that like kind of slightly timid sort of guy, or just like, oh, thank you so much. Yeah. After I just got done jumping off of something.
When Brad goes into cascaded mode.
Yes.
I remember my first time I was like,
who's this guy?
Imposter syndrome is a very real thing. It's something that I feel like in the solo episode, I kind of spoke to it. Like I always have like imposter syndrome, even in things I'm an expert in, quote unquote. Because like I hate like the word expert, but like that's why like my whole YouTube channel's changed to like a podcast, pretty much podcast channel, because I know everything I'm talking about when it comes to I know what I can speak to in confidence to what I'm speaking about, but like once I turn on the camera and the lights and everything, it's like that imposter syndrome kicks in, and like I'm finding myself fact checking my own facts that I know for a fact is a fact, So it's like I'm like that imposter syndrome kicks in, and like that's a huge thing that's like gotten to me, and it's like if I feel like imposter syndrome somewhere, like this is just kind of like where I am, like then I'm gonna go somewhere where I don't have imposter syndrome, and like podcasting is where I don't have imposter syndrome, because I feel like it's one of those things like I'm probably the most polished in. Like I can't do like talking head shit. Like I can't just sit at my desk and like talk about like a Promise filter. Like the whole takeaway from the whole solo cast was I'd rather talk about shit that's important, that matters. I'd rather teach wisdom than white balance. Like I couldn't give a shit about talking about cameras. Like on YouTube, like so many people do it better. Watch them. But if you want to watch me, I'm gonna be talking about some shit that actually matters.
Right.
And I don't have imposter syndrome talking about that. I don't have imposter syndrome talking about the Black experience in America, because I know that.
Well, yeah, all you have to do is just speak about stuff in your life,
Uh-huh.
You're not talking about someone else. You're talking about yourself,
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, if you're coming from a place of this is me, this is being genuine, this is authentic, you don't have to worry about fact checking that. It's like, this is my experience. Like, if you, like, someone can, I mean, they can try to disagree with your experience on something.
And there are people out there like
there
that.
are people out there like that, absolutely. But at least in your confidence, you can say, nah, like, I'm not letting you put that on me. This is me. That's you. That's your perception of me, but that's not me. You're not what other people think you are. So
yeah. So imposter syndrome is a very real thing, but always just trust you, believe in yourself. Like you'll show up when it's time.
Because like you said about the creative, I just got goosebumps. Actually, came out of nowhere. It's like there's you. Sometimes you're not present. You're not quite there, but that creative self right there, that deep part of you, it shines through anyways. It's like, I'm here, I'm showing up, even if you're mentally checked out, and that just goes to show, like, art, like, it's not all like up here, it's like it's in here. So,
just show up to that game. Once the ball's in your hand, it's like the Marlon Wayans movie, The Fifth Man. Or is it The Sixth Man? When he was like,
you combine the
like,
Fifth Element.
Yeah, like when he was the Sixth Man. When he was like see-through, like he was like transparent or whatever, like a ghost, like an invisible man. He was on the basketball team, and like they're like, how are they winning like this? And like, well, we got a sixth man on the team court right now,
Angels in the outfield. No.
Build it and they will come. That is that movie, right?
No, I think that's Field of Dreams.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Bad News Bears?
All the baseball movies kind of run together after. All the sports movies run together.
They're all the same.
They are some of my favorite movies ever, though, some of the sports films. I don't even like sports like that, but sports movies,
yeah. Like I don't like oh my god, boxing.
Oh yeah,
but because I'm an MMA
Rocky,
dude.
Creed,
like those movies. Like I watch Creed when I'm like need to get motivated. Creed and Creed 2, like that's what I watch when I gotta get motivated. Especially like physically.
Oh,
like
dude,
working out. Throw that on. You have your own little montage for the big fight.
That's it.
But yeah, 33 minutes in. I think we did it. Short, sweet, to the point.
We did the damn thing.
Yeah. Brad, where can the people find you? Never asked me how my week has been, but where can people find
Oh, Lord. You can find me on Instagram at Brad Pallone and Twitter at Brad_Pallone. And you can also find my photography at Ghostproof Photography on all social media platforms. You can also find Battle of Heart and Mind, my band, on all streaming platforms and social media at Battle of Heart or a Battle of Heart and Mind. Also, it depends on most of them are Battle of Heart, I believe. Yeah. Rob, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at RobertDXN. And this is nonsense. All right, I almost forgot. Thursday. I haven't recorded it yet, but Thursday, at the time of recording this, I haven't recorded it yet, but Thursday. Which also brings me to an announcement also for Sync And Desist. But that I actually haven't told Brad about. It's just remembered. But Thursday, this is nonsense. I'm on all podcasting platforms. The solo podcast, I've been talking. giving y'all lip service for about 2 years. I'm gonna do a side solo podcast. Finally, the trailer is out. I had to submit it to Apple Podcasts on my own. Thanks a lot, Anchor. But you got me on everywhere else. But this is Nonsense Thursday. There will be bonus episodes, but I'm sticking with Thursdays for now. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share that podcast. We want to go in with a bang. We want to hit the ground running for sure. This is Nonsense, and I'm not talking about the 2016 one where I met Brad.
Brand new.
That new, new podcast, side solo podcast. Want to give y'all a day in between Sync and Desist and This is Nonsense. So Thursdays. But you can find Sync and Desist on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel because we got video podcasts now. Mm-hmm. Shout out to y'all that are watching it. But please also listen to the audio also. Mm-hmm. But you can find Sync and Desist wherever you find podcasts, releasing episodes every Tuesday. Here's the announcement that Brad is very hungry.
My stomach is very hungry right now.
Rumbling, dude. We're all as creatives, we're all hungry.
Starving artist.
Yeah. Starting with this episode, whichever episode this is, 176 or 7, I think. I believe this is 177. But the episodes will be releasing every Tuesday at 5 o'clock a.m., not midnight, because I've been doing a whole hell of a lot of research this week. Midnight is the worst time to release a podcast. From 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. is the worst time to release a podcast. So,
all right.
Tuesdays at 5 a.m. is the absolute best time to release a podcast, specifically Tuesday. It used to be Monday. 3.5 years ago, we were like, when should we release the podcast? This new podcast we're starting called Sync and Desist. When should we release a new podcast? And I was like, we're like Mondays when you usually release a podcast, but like we feel like bad boys. So let's release on Tuesdays and go against the grain.
Yeah, because there you feel like there'd be so much traffic on Monday,
Mm-hmm. Tuesday has become the day to release podcasts. It's the most popular day to release a podcast. We've been releasing at the worst time on Tuesdays. So this way, releasing at 5 a.m. on the East Coast means you'll wake up and Sync and Desist will be at the top of your podcast feed. And on the West Coast, it'll still be at the top of your feed because it'll release at 2 a.m. And 2 a.m. is also the best time to release a podcast. So we're going to stick with this until I see otherwise. Mm-hmm. Then if that doesn't work, because thank you to those of you that do listen to the podcast at midnight.
When it drops, yeah.
Yeah. But we're just trying to just build that brand and try to get as much exposure to this podcast as possible. So we're going to beta test 5 a.m. on every Tuesday, just to try to get those downloads and those first day streams. And also Thursday is the best day for downloads as well. I did not know that. I was always going to release on Thursdays, but it works out. So like that sad brand is strong on all accounts, That's it. But yes, we release new episodes every Tuesday at 5 a.m.
All right. If anything changes, we'll let you know accordingly, right?
Yeah. But please rate, review, subscribe, and share. And next week at 5 a.m., we will catch you then.
Later.